Hello, and welcome to LinMot Tutorials. This is part 2 of the EasySteps video. We'll continue by discussing the analog parameter scale function. You might be wondering, why would we use analog parameter scale? This allows you to control any parameter by adjusting the analog voltage. I'm going to show this by connecting a potentiometer to the drive's single-ended analog input. For the C-series drives have multiple analog inputs. The X4.11 and X4.10 are differential analog input, and the X4.9 is a single-ended analog input. Next, we will connect that input to a parameter. In this example, to connect the input to the maximal current parameter, which would allow the motor's force to be controlled. To do so, you must have LinMot Talk open and logged into the drive. Then navigate to the analog parameter scale in EasySteps. Then navigate to the analog input being used. In this case, it'll be analog input on X4.9. We want to connect the UPID, or the unique parameter ID for maximal current, to this input. So we click on UPID and click on the UPID icon, which allows us to search for it. Then we go to Parameters, Motion Control Software, Position Controller, Control Parameters Set A. Then we pick the maximal current parameter. Notice how the parameter ID shows up. Click OK. The firmware on the drive is running. It must be stopped before the parameters can be written into the drive. Do you want to stop it now? Click Yes. Then we reboot our drive by clicking on this play button. Now we have the UPID that we want to control with this input. The next thing we have to do is adjust the scaling. So basically, this is maximal current. So what current do we want it to be when the analog voltage is 0 volts? We make it 2, but we put in 2000 to get the scale right. And that 2000 equals 2 amps. At 10 volts, we'd like that to be 4 amps of current. So we will put 4000 to get that properly scaled, and it shows up as 4 amps. So now we created an analog parameter scale for the maximal current parameter. So now we go to our control panel, now to confirm that we actually have a signal going, we are going to the variables, MC Overview. Click on this icon to automatically update all the variables, and we can see here analog input. So we can get 0 to 10 volts coming into this input by adjusting our potentiometer. And we can see that we can get 0 to 10 volts coming into that input. And then we'd like to make sure that our maximal current is indeed changing. To confirm that, we have to go to Motion Control, Position Controller, Control Parameters Set A. Analog parameter scales can be used to adjust about any live parameter with the red L in the drive via analog input signal. You can see the red L to the left of the parameter names here. Here is the maximal current parameter, but we don't look at it here. What we have to do is click on it and drag it into the user-defined. The user-defined is located under Variables. What we can also do is go into MC Software Overview. We can also drag our X4.9 analog voltage onto UserDefined. Read all variables cycled. We were able to see the change of value for both as the amps go from 2 to 4 and the voltage goes from 0 to 10. This concludes this tutorial. Thank you.